Let's face it, being a gentleman might feel a little outdated to some, but let me tell you, it's never been more important. And ladies, we're going to talk about how embracing your feminine energy can make all the difference in how we connect. Today, we're diving into the art of being a gentleman and ladies letting them in the modern world. Think Mr. Darcy vibes, but with a smartphone. Yes, gentlemen can still exist in the Instagram era. I tell you, it can happen. I'll say if you haven't watched Pride and Prejudice, one of my all-time favorite movies, Mr. Darcy's probably one of my all-time characters. Might be more of a feminine kind of movie than masculine, but hey, if you as a man can watch it, more power to you. I love that about you. So let me know if you've seen it, if you like it. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to challenge you to watch it. Welcome back to Off Limits. Off Limits. That's a little jingle. We'll see if we like it. The idea of that little jingle is anytime we're talking about something that is like, don't do this, we'll kind of sing either don't do this or it's off limits. You will find that I'll have guests down the road. And so it'll kind of make it a little more interactive and fun. So off Limits, the podcast where love, biology, and humor collide. I'm your host, Ellen Roars. You can call me Elle. And this is a show where we celebrate our differences and learn how to connect on a deeper level. This podcast is all about what's often left unsaid, from unspoken rules to the fascinating dynamics between men and women. And in today's episode, we're revisiting the timeless art of being a gentleman, what it looks like in today's world, and how ladies can let them step up. So let's get into it. Actually, before we get into it, I got to tell you, if you're watching on the YouTube, you're going to see I'm still fighting this cold. If you're listening on the Buzzsprout platforms such as iTunes and Spotify, you'll definitely hear the sniffling. So I apologize right away. But I do want to say I wanted to make sure that I get this out. I stay on course. So here we are today. But let's dive in, like I said. So, what does it mean to be a gentleman in 2025? Being a gentleman isn't just about opening doors or pulling out chairs, though, let's be honest, those small acts still go a long, long way. I promise you that. What being a gentleman is about, it's about showing respect, exuding self-assurance, and creating a sense of security and trust for the people around you. So, yes, us ladies can do this too. I think of it in a way of whoever is in need the most. So, let's say this happens a lot when I board the plane. I'll find that there's a shorter, sweet lady that maybe doesn't have the strength that I have, and I will absolutely offer to lift her bag into the overhead, right, on the airplane. That's just one example. So think of something that you've done or you're able to do to help others out that just show respect and create a little bit of security for someone, just to let them know that there's peace around them. But going back to the core values for the modern gentleman, I picked the top three. There's a lot out there, but the kind of science backed were these three. So, what makes a modern gentleman? It's kindness without weakness. So, kindness doesn't mean being a pushover, it means showing empathy and strength at the same time. So, we all know what empathy is. It's when you can really kind of put yourself into somebody else's shoes. So, having that empathy and strength at the same time. So when you're kind with purpose, people feel that value and they feel safe. So it's not, kindness is not letting someone cut you or cut in line at Starbucks when they're in a rush and you might be in a rush too to get to your own meeting. But kindness is really, again, that empathy and strength together. It's also confidence without arrogance. So confidence is so magnetic. Arrogance, not so much. Arrogance pushes people away. So, what is the difference here? Confidence uplifts others, while arrogance puts them down. A true gentleman builds others up. So let's think about, you know what? Think about this. James Bond, but the charming Daniel Craig version. So not the Milan Spain, the Milan Spain. I can't say it. My nose is so stuffy. Can you hear it? I've been on Afrin, you guys, for months. I swear. They say Afrin, use it for 3 days. If you don't know what it is, you can Google it. It's a nose spray to help clear your head. But yeah, I've been on it far too long, so it's probably no longer working. But anyways, going back to the whole mansplain, this is for you 1970 version, we don't necessarily want that. We want more the charming Daniel Craig version. And then the other core value for the modern gentleman would be clarity and presence. So a gentleman knows what he wants and communicates it with grace. And grace, us ladies can do that too, right? I love the word grace. He's present in the moment and listens deeply. There's nothing more attractive than someone who makes you feel heard and understood. So, men, quick little advice here. If you find your woman or even coworker, anybody, a lady starts to chat with you, you could even say, "Hey, wait, am I just listening to this story or are you wanting me to offer advice at the end?" And she might just say, "Oh, I just need you to listen." That's the best gift you can give them. Just say, "All right, awesome." And she'll tell you your story and you'll listen. That allows her to feel your presence. And it's a great feeling and it's a great gift that you can give. Ladies, my kind of tip for you then too is if you know that your man is really good about offering advice and sometimes you're telling a story and he's quick to give advice, just let him know, "Hey, honey, I just want to express or vent. I don't need advice." And they'll be able to give you that gift. So there you go. Another little quick tidbit that I can take from my dating era. Um, it's funny. You'd be surprised how many men will text me late at night. And it's one of those where I'm like, "Ugh, it's just not appropriate, especially if you're wanting a classy woman. Um, she's not going to value that so much. You know, you see those WYD, what you doing at 2 a.m.? And honestly, I'm pretty good at fielding those guys out. But the younger generation, man, if you're doing that, try to hold off. This is my best tip I can give you. Wait till the morning and maybe extend the words a little bit more too, not just a WYD. That's not a lot of effort. So let's go into the feminine side. So, ladies, how can you embrace your femininity? This is a role that doesn't mean stepping back or playing small. I'm not asking us to do that. It means creating space for partnership and letting a man show up for you. So here's how to really let that happen without compromising our independence. You know, I have been single a long time and I have a lot of independence, but part of the problem with becoming so independent is I'm not very good at allowing a gift to be received. And it can be a gift of any level, right? Offering a man, offering feedback or opening the door. So receive without guilt. That's a great way to get into your feminine energy. So allowing someone to do something kind for you is not a weakness, it's connection. So you take that gift away from someone when they're offering to do something nice and you're like, "No, no, I got it." You hear that a lot, right? I've been guilty of doing this. If somebody offers to do something nice, receive it and say, "Thank you. That means so much. I feel so cherished." Whatever you want to say, whatever it is, right? That shows gesture and it shows a great intention on his part. So here's a good example. Let him open the door, let him plan the date, and just show that gratitude. Because again, these are his way of showing how much he cares and the good intention that he has. So I promise you, ladies, if he opens the door for you, it isn't a trap. It's just him wanting to show you that he adores you. So communicate your needs. Here's a good example. Men are not mind readers. We all know that, right? A lot of times we think they're reading our minds, but they could be thinking about something totally different. So be clear about what makes you feel valued. Let them know and watch how they rise to meet you. So absolutely, they are looking for your pleasure, I guess, if that makes like they're here to please you. And the more that we can show appreciation, the more they'll do it. So here's what I mean. This is kind of a silly example, but if you're craving tacos, don't say, "Oh, I'll eat whatever, wherever you want to go." Be bold and say, "You know what? I want tacos tonight." Even if it's not Taco Tuesday, ladies, you can crave tacos. Let them know. And I tell you, it will be a great thing. So the top and final one that I have for right now, again, there's so many, but I wanted to kind of do our top three, is to get into that feminine side, show your appreciation. So a simple thank you goes a long way. Everyone wants to feel seen and valued for their effort. So I can't say gratitude enough. Gratitude is such a powerful way to deepen a connection with anyone. So, this heartfelt thank you, I've kind of alluded to it earlier, but it goes further than a little thumbs up text. So, sometimes a little, I know they usually say less is more, but when it comes to gratitude, more is more. So, we'll keep that in mind. So, why does this dynamic work? The whole yin to the yang, or the men stepping into the role as gentlemen and women embracing their feminine energy. It works because it creates balance. So balance is crucial. It's not about control, but it's more about harmony. So the science-backed insight on this is, studies often show or will show that relationships thrive when both partners feel appreciated and secure in their roles. Men need to feel respected and women need to feel cherished. And this is, not for all, but this is more the majority rule, right? Men love that respect, women love the adored, cherished feel. So it's kind of like peanut butter and jelly. You know that old song, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Um, yeah, they're different when they're separate, but when they're together, they're like magic or peas and carrots. There's so many lingos that we can think for analogies. But think of it like this, the dance, one leads, the other follows. Both roles are equally important, and together they create something beautiful. It's about trust, it's about rhythm, and it's absolutely about partnership. So, you think Dancing with the Stars. I'm not saying that we got to have those beautiful Dancing with the Stars bodies, but it's more about that metaphorical dance of connection. It just shows this beautiful peace and harmony. So the takeaway is actually, I can't talk with the stuffed nose. Hopefully you get what I'm saying. It's hard to enunciate. Excuse me. So we'll wrap it up with a few quick takeaways for both men and women to apply today. So these are things that you can start right away. So men, practice small acts of chivalry. So that's opening the door, offering your jacket, and being attentive. Just those little details, right? And sometimes the smaller the better. It's funny how simple us women can be too when you're doing those little minute details throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. Leading with clarity, gentlemen, this goes so far. So plan the date, communicate your intentions, and follow through. So, yeah, again, even if she's saying, "Oh, I don't care," confirm that that's truly what she means. And then say, "Okay, well, if you're fine with me planning, I'm happy to plan." And I guarantee you'll get 5 golden stars for that. Women do love it when a man takes charge, for sure. And then show respect. And the best way you can do this is really listening actively, honoring her boundaries. So, here's a quick little example too. And I feel like this is where we can be so hard on you men, right? Us women sometimes. So I mean this with love, but here you're doing a great thing, right? But it's kind of like one of those things, say you fix the dishwasher and all of a sudden now you're like beating your chest like a gorilla of like, hey, did you just see what I did? Then sometimes us ladies can be like, well, cool that you did it, but you're seeking for validation before I even gave you like a thank you. Allow her to give you gratitude. And if she doesn't, gosh, then you might be with a woman that maybe isn't, I don't know, that makes me sad for you. I hope that's not the case. Get her on this podcast to be listening so she can know how to communicate gratitude. So, yes, allow your woman to kind of give you that gratitude when you do something sweet, like holding the door open or fixing the dishwasher. All right, for women, let him step up. So this is super important. You lean back a little bit to allow him to create opportunities to show leadership. So he can show you care, he can show you leadership. Sometimes we like to just do it all. So he's not going to step up if you don't allow him to step up. Express gratitude, acknowledge his effort. So make sure you're saying thank you about him helping you. So the dishwasher example, be sure to quickly give him a kiss on the cheek or something that shows you're so appreciative. So he doesn't have to be the gorilla beating his chest trying to get some attention from you. So yeah, those small gestures for him go a long way. A swat on the butt, a kiss on the cheek, something that shows appreciation. And this is where coming back to the love languages is awesome to know, because if you know He's a words guy, like a words of affirmation. You can tell him how great he is. If he's physical touch, a kiss is going to be more impactful. So those are good examples, expressing gratitude. And then be open to connection. So allow that space for vulnerability and partnership. It's crucial to allow that. So quick little example though, yes, if you get a guy, maybe you're single like myself, you're going on these dates and you get a text from a guy that's WYD, what you doing at 2 a.m.? Maybe reconsider that connection. I think you're needing to look elsewhere for a man. So, yeah, we all need to step into these roles. Connection becomes easier and more fulfilling as we kind of lean into our strengths. So, that's it for today's episode. Gentlemen, step up. Ladies, let them. Today, we can bring back the art of connection in the world or in a world that truly needs it. We're in high demand for it right now. Coming up next, episode 14, it's going to be a good one. One of my favorite topics is hormones and how fascinating hormones are. So they influence our mood, our desire, and how we connect with one another. So we're going to talk about that soon. And then in episode 15, right after that, we'll explore leadership, starting with leading with yourself first. So if you've enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe, share it with a friend, and let's keep this conversation going. I'm Elle, and this is Off Limits. Let's make the unspoken rules work for us. See you next time. Sending you so much love. Bye.